Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this. This is your weekly WWE Monday Night Raw review. I'm your host, LK, joined by my partner in crime, as always, Sammy Synister. Sammy, how you doing? It's been a long time, buddy.
It's been way too long. Real life got in the way. As you can tell, I have some form of death upon me, so I apologize. I'm alive. That's better than a lot of other people can say.
Win-loss tie, straight out the bat. Win-loss tie.
Fuck me, man. Tie? I don't know anymore. And I almost want to give it a loss just because they're making it so difficult for me to stay interested. Not that some of the matches aren't good, not that there's some sprinkling of potentially good stories here and there. I just don't care.
No,
I just don't
me neither. I gave it a tie as well. There was a good I enjoyed the main event. I enjoyed some aspects of the show, but some of it are a lot left to be desired as normal. Internet Infantry, if you want to get your comments about the show read live on air, please put in the comments win, loss, or tie. Thoughts, queries about the show, why it sucked, how Roman Reigns gets sucked off by Vince. Any visuals are always great. We both gave it a tie. So I promised you last week, the week before, I'm going to be doing the name and shame game. So once we've finished broken down Raw, so we're going to break all of Raw down. We're going to get thoughts on that. Then we're going to go to the name and shame game. Then live comments, okay? And I've got 4 name and shame games who I'm going to bury these people because they cringed me the fuck out. When I'm on Twitter during boring segments, I watch this. I look at the Twitter, and if something cringes me the fuck out, gets taken down on the name and shame. So, Monday Night Raw for the 28th of November 2016. Start off with Chris Jericho in the ring for the highlight reel. Great job, WWE, promoting this, by the way, you fucking imbeciles. The guest is Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens buries Thanksgiving, Black Friday. He just buries Americans in general because he's Canadian. Kevin Owens then says he's thankful to be Universal Champion and best friends with Chris Jericho. Jericho says he's thankful for Rollins being a stupid idiot and said last week was Sin Cara wearing a Chris Jericho mask, which I thought was quite funny. Reigns interrupts a US champion. He carries that belt like it means absolutely nothing. Jericho then puts Reigns on the list, or he tries to, before Kevin Owens shouts at him to shut up. Reigns says, let's fight Owens fight, and if he wins, he gets another title shot. Kevin Owens agrees, and I was thinking to myself, why would the guy who's labeled the prize fighter accept a challenge from someone else when he gains nothing from the match? What does Kevin Owens gain?
Nothing.
It's flawed. Like, everything is flawed.
I guess the idea was that he got like, so angry that he accepted it, but it just didn't make a lot of sense. I didn't like it.
It's like,
and Kevin Owens is my guy, so they're making it hard.
Yeah, and I think Kevin Owens might start being my guy if the human love fucking machine of Vincent Kennedy McMahon is in the main event again. Unbelievable. I wouldn't even say it was a decent segment. Like, it just made me think, oh, here we go again. Here I go again on Monday Night Raw. Down the only road I've ever known. So, kill me now.
That's the second time you've sang on one of our live shows.
Dude, I sing all the time. It's like a second hobby of mine. I'm hoping someone picks me up and I can make some record label money.
There you go.
It was okay.
Do a cover of Mickey James's song.
Dude, that's brilliant. Then we go backstage to Jericho, who's annoyed at Kevin Owens because he told him to shut up, rightfully so. Kevin Owens says he doesn't need Jericho. Jericho says he doesn't need him as an ally, tag partner, or best friend. Foley says Reigns versus Kevin Owens is official for the Universal title, which confused the fuck out of me. And then Jericho says he leaving and goes. Starts to go anyway. I was confused by this because even though we know, because obviously we've watched it all, it was if Reigns wins, he gets a title match at Roadblock. But Foley said it's for the Universal title, and they didn't clear it up, and this show's a mess.
Yeah,
there is some good wrestling matches, but the show, structure-wise, format-wise, writing-wise, is a mess.
I agree. I mean, there's nothing to even talk about. It literally, the first almost hour of the show, there is nothing to talk about. Nothing.
You know what this show is? If you just watched the third hour, I think you'll be better off for it. Because what's been happening is when we get the TV ratings in, you see the first and second hour, they're usually like 2.9, 2.8 billion, and the third hour usually drops quite significantly. So I'm thinking they're saving all their big stuff for the third hour, which means the first and second hour, you're sat there questioning whether you want to stick a fucking pin in your eye or not. And it's fucking unbearable. Speaking of unbearable, we had Braun Strowman squashing R-Truth with a running power slam. Goldust tried to attack Strowman for some... Strowman was doing nothing. and Goldust just decides to hit him. Strowman attacks Goldust. Sami Zayn comes out. He makes a save. Strowman beats on Zayn. Referees come out. Foley, he stops Strowman. Foley then cuts a promo on Sami Zayn saying Zayn needs to be saved from himself and says he will never beat Strowman. Zayn says, basically, how dare you? I mean, how many times did people tell you that? And then calls him a hypocrite. And you know what?
I actually liked this.
This was a very good promo from both. Good segment. It got Strowman over as a monster. It got Zayn over as that big underdog. And I think Zayn and Foley is the equivalent of Miz and Daniel Bryan. Like, I think it's going to be the same rub-off effect.
Which I'm okay with. It would be a Miz Daniel Bryan, but it'll be a face thing where Sami Zayn's the face, and I liked it. And I had this thought, and part of it is that I don't know if you don't really listen to any other podcasts, but Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows used to have a podcast when they were in Japan called Talking Shop. Well, they stopped doing it, but on Jericho's show, once every so many months now, he does a Talking Shop episode, and it is legitimately some of the funniest shit that I've ever heard. And I bring that up because of this, because if I'm the club, and we'll get into this later on, if I'm the club, I'm recruiting Braun Strowman to be the third member of the club to go up against the three-man team that is the New Day to destroy them to finally get the tag belts.
Could do that, but I think I wouldn't trust Strowman. But we'll get to that in a bit. Then we had Cedric Alexander versus Tony Nese, promoting of 205 Live tomorrow night on the network. And for those wondering when we go live, basically we'll be going live after 205 Live, and what we're going to do is we're going to review both SmackDown and 205 Live, and we're going to review them in order, which means we'll do a SmackDown review, then we'll do a 205 Live review, and then I'll cut it in half so that you'll get a SmackDown and then you'll get a 205 Live separately, basically. Backstage, Alicia Fox was staring and fingering herself over Cedric Alexander, which made me feel a bit uncomfortable. Nice, it was strange, and then Cole goes, "Oh, Alicia Fox was flirting with Cedric Alexander on the pre-show." Like, what? Do you know what? It was like Vince was looking around, saw Cedric Alexander. He's like, "Oh." He looks around, and he sees Alicia Fox. He's like, I'm not going to say because I don't want to get kicked off the air, but you know why this pairing is taking place. Vincent Kennedy McMahon, you racist son of a bitch.
He really is. And, like, fucking poor Cedric got one of the biggest pops of the night because he's in his home fucking town, and the crowd recognized him and recognized that and was totally behind him. Why have him lose? What's the benefit?
Oh, it's what WWE does, isn't it? When was the last time you saw a WWE wrestler win in their hometown, minus John Cena and Roman Reigns? Doesn't
Good
happen.
question. I don't get it.
Nese got the win, though, with a nasty pump handle slam. Looked like he caught him real bad. Okay match, standard cruiserweight match. And then we go to...
Bad cruiserweight match, most of the time, is going to be better than your mid-card Raw match.
Definitely, and I hope with the 205 Live that they're allowed to get free range to do whatever the fuck they want instead of being handcuffed. And then we have backstage of Chris Jericho. He says he doesn't, need Kevin Owens, and Jericho goes to leave, but Rollins attacks him in the parking lot. There's big brawling. Rollins hits a pedigree on the car. I like the fact that we have different scenery. I've been moaning for weeks and months saying that we need to get out of the fucking GM office. Not once were we in that office tonight that I noticed.
And I actually made a note of that, and I was like, I like this, and LK's really going to like this, because there's several places, where it seemed like there was a bigger universe at stake. And I think that's something that WWE can totally do, not maybe to the extent that Lucha Underground does, but they need to make, when you're watching a WWE product, it seems like it's contained in its own little universe. And it doesn't. It seems like WWE is part of the world, and you have to respect everything and all the limits that the world places on things. They could do it, but and TNA is actually doing a pretty good job of this right now too. But when you're watching WWE, you should feel like this is the WWE universe instead of just saying it's the WWE universe.
Yeah, it's just it feels like it's just part of the normal world, isn't it?
Yeah,
it sucks. Then we have, what have we got here? We have a Raw Women's Championship match of Charlotte versus Banks, and it was annoying because I was getting into it. The crowd were mega hot for this, and then they brawl into the crowd. We get a double count out. Ferdy comes out and says, later on tonight, this match will restart as a Falls Count Anywhere match. Could we just have had this as a Falls Count Anywhere match? Was this needed? No. Did this make you, oh yeah, I'm more excited for the main event now. I've seen them start to wrestle.
I'll be honest, with Corey Graves as the heel commentator here, he kept saying, like, she won fair and square. Why are we doing another match? He's right. He's right. He won, or she won. I'll bet it was about a double count up, but she's still your championship. I'm sorry, that's on Sasha Banks. She didn't do anything dirty to win. You know, like it put unnecessary sympathy on your heel in here, and it'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. She lost fair and square. Why is there another match at stake?
Speaking of flaws, if we've been talking about this show, Charlotte last week said, I forgot to mention this last week, Charlotte said that she wants it in her hometown because she wants a good reaction. You're a fucking heel. You do not want a good reaction.
Bury your hometown. That's why I left. This place is a piece of shit.
She didn't do that once. She came out pondering to the crowd. She wanted the cheers, and that's what pisses me off with modern-day heels. They're not heels, and that fucks me off. Like, I despise the fact that they have merchandise. I talked about how on the Attitude Era show that The Rock had a shirt that says Rocky sucks. Like, and people were buying it. But you could see around the arena, people buying the Rocky sucks. Why can't you have shirts that say Die Owens Die? Or shirts that say...
Here's my take on this. And I totally agree with you because I think it's very hard for companies to get legit heat on heels nowadays. There's some that can do it, and I think part of it is that you have to make that contained universe feel. But just in pop culture in general, look at some of the most popular movie, comic book, TV, literature characters in the last decade, 2 decades. All your most famous characters start off as bad guys. Like Loki is easily one of, if not the most popular character in the Marvel Universe, and he's a bad guy. People like cheering for bad guys. So I think wrestling's kind of adopted that, and that you really don't boo bad guys anymore. Bad guys are people that do bad things, but you can totally cheer for them. And it's taken me a long time to get into that mindset. They can do things that are despicable and such, but they're gonna be, they're gonna have fans. And it's like there's only maybe a handful of heels that can really, really still get heat, and one of them is The Miz, and he might be the only one. As much as I love fucking Kevin Owens, people like he's shitty heel. He tries so hard to get heat, and he just can't. It's not that he's not fucking not good enough to get it. He's just too fucking good. People like him too much. So
how about this? How about the best wrestlers, the wrestlers who are the best, the wrestlers who get the most reactions? Why don't they be the baby faces? And then you have the Miz's. Imagine if Roman Reigns was a heel. Holy mother of fuck.
I know there's so many other podcasts and stuff out there that go like, just give up the idea of Reigns as a heel. He would be so fucking good as a heel. He would be amazing.
Imagine if, say, in January, Reigns turned heel. This past January. And now in November, we would be saying Reigns is one of the best heels in the history of the wrestling business.
We would say, honestly, you could still salvage it. You honestly, and bear with me, let me say the entire thing, and then let me know what you think. If you want to turn Reigns heel, this is how you do it. You go into the Rumble. You have your Goldberg-Lesnar feud, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. And then at the very end, you know what? Fucking have Reigns win for a fucking second time. And when he goes to get up on the reins and everyone's booing him and you expect him up, just give 2 fucking double birds to the entire crowd. Give him the mic and be like, you never wanted to pull for me. I don't give a shit what you have to say anymore. I don't care. I hurt people and I get paid to hurt people. Boo me all you want. All I'm going to do is hurt the people you like more. Throw down the mic. Get out of the ring.
Have a fucking saying, this isn't the Roman Empire. This is my empire. Rips his shirt off, that says Roman Empire, and it throws it on the floor. That way the kids will be like, oh my god, why the fuck does he do that? Now the kids aren't going to be buying his merchandise. Which is a good thing. It despises me, but enough of that. We have Rusev versus Enzo Amore and Cass. Here is my prediction. We're going to get Rusev versus Cass at Roadblock, end of the fucking whatever the fuck it is. So now it's WWE booking of Rusev versus Cass for the next 4 weeks.
Oh my god, I just don't fucking care. Like, honestly, and I know I said that like a walker, like, honestly, truthfully, in this aspect, fucking Enzo is the bad guy. He fucking showed his dick to another man's wife, and all he wanted to do was be like, dude, don't show your dick to my lady's wife. Oh, let me cut a promo about how your lady saw my wife's, or my dick, man. And then Rusev's like, well, I'm going to kick you in the dick. Okay, that's, like, Rusev, you're completely justified in kicking this dude in the dick.
I mean, I didn't like the promo, right? When I mean I don't like the promo, I don't like the fact that it's a 3-hour show. You could have done this past 10 o'clock. And there's, they for a company that says we're aimed and targeted towards children, having that type of promo, I really don't like that early on the show when you could have done it at like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
There is a huge difference now, unless most of them watch on DVR.
This entire segment was a waste of time. It was just a waste of time.
And being Paul Rusev, he went from US champ, having matches with the Samoan fucking love machine of Vince McMahon, Roman Reigns, to matches with Enzo and Cass where he's winning by losing by DQs. Poor bastard. Then we have Rich Swann versus Noam Dar. And this was okay. I loved it when Dar pelted him in the leg and Swann sold it really well with the throat on the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was really good. Promoting Kendrick versus Swann at 205 Live tomorrow night. Swann got the win with a kick to the head. Yeah, I think they did a good job. Swann got a kick to the head to get the win. It was decent. They had a promo war after, which I thought was pretty damn good at setting up the match tomorrow night. And I think Rich Swann will win tomorrow night. I do. I think so. Rich will win. Me too. He warms my heart.
He really reminds me of when Rey Mysterio first got to WCW, and he was just this lovable little guy that people got behind. And he's hellaciously talented. I'm dying. Sorry, everybody. If I die on air, just fucking put me underneath that rug.
Speaking of dying in a bar, Sheamus and Cesaro beat the shit out of all of these jabrones.
I
was a buffer. I love this.
I'm torn on the segment. As a independent segment, I absolutely loved it. Because, again, it did what we did. WWE's in their own little universe. It shows that there's cooperation between these guys. There's a story between these guys. There's a history between these guys. And when they're willing to work together if there is another ass that needs to be kicked. I love that. What I don't like about it is that this segment, where it was in the show, just openly said, hey, the club's not going to win later on.
Yeah. Yeah. You sent me a message on Facebook saying that. I was, fuck yeah. But, I mean, I liked it when they had a Guinness.
Yeah.
It made me happy. I liked it. I always talk about location. No, that's not the fucking Channel 4 show. 6 of you English people just laughed your asses off. But I do always talk about location. And they're changing it up. I like that a lot. Then we have Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. The US title means nothing. That's the way he carries it.
Because of what happens here, going into Roadblock, there's a lot of validity to the theory me and you came up with.
What, the vintage Roman Reigns is going to sacrifice the US Championship, which he's going to forfeit like Kane did back at No Mercy 2002 until it was brought back in Judgment Day 3, which I've said in every single fucking show. But they should have brought the IC title over to Raw, the Cruiserweight back off to SmackDown. They didn't do it because they wanted it to be unpredictable. That's the only reason they didn't do it.
So let's hope that this can still... Honestly, the Kevin Owens-Roman Reigns match was pretty good. I actually really enjoyed it as a match. I just don't like the outcome because I fucking love Kevin Owens.
It's this simple. Just to break it down, so Vince loves cock. He loves muscly cock. Vince loves Samoan cock. If you combined a Samoan who has a muscly cock, Reigns, the outcome's simple. Vince is going to open his mouth. Roman, what do you want? I want to beat the Universal Champion tonight. Anything you want, mate. Anything. Just let me touch it. Just for fun. Just let me touch it. So Reigns' music hits. That's why he no longer walks through the crowd, because Vince just can't handle himself without touching it before he goes out. Unbelievable. The match itself wasn't bad. It was like, yeah, Roman Reigns is winning.
But that was the issue that I had. I was like, okay, Roman Reigns is gonna win, and again, Roman's got to turn heel. And like, there's a bunch of other, and I listen to all the podcasts, and I've listened to this, and Finn Balor on a non-WWE program went off and talked about just how good really Reigns is in the ring. He's so much better than a lot of people want to give him credit for, and he's getting a lot of shit nowadays. But the guy inside a ring can work, and he can work very, very well. And as a work rate, this show was good. This match was good. I actually liked it. I still think that Kevin Owens being the champion should have lost through some form of hubris instead of just Reigns full-on winning. I didn't like that. I thought maybe he should have got really cocky or tried to do something way too big, and that's how he lost. But I can take it and how it was presented. It just wasn't my favorite.
I just hate the way the Universal Champion gets presented, and the World Champion. Like AJ losing to Jobber James three times in a row. And then you got Owens just never winning properly. Like, he wins by hook or schnook. But with that I understand he's a heel. I understand that's his character. You know, he doesn't win, but he wins. But then when it comes to it, he should still win to prove, look, I'm still the fucking man. Like, I may always use help, but I'm still the fucking man. Instead, it's Roman Reigns. Vince wants his cock, Roman Reigns. It's so frustrating. And it's just unbearable. And there was, to be fair, during this match, and I knew the outcome, so I just went through Twitch, and I got quite a few of the name and shame games, which I'm very excited to read, and I think some of them are very funny. And we go backstage to Kevin Owens. He lost. But he uses the excuse he was thinking of his best friend in Chris Jericho. So they tried, bless him. And calls the interviewer a robot. Robot. I love that. He called the interviewer a robot. I fucking despise these people who go around. So, Kevin, what's your reaction to your loss tonight? Like, they're not characters. Like, at least Renee Young has some resemblance of a character. They're like Byron Saxtons just walking around. Oh, I sent out a brilliant tweet. I tagged Byron Saxton on my Twitter, and then I tagged him, and I said, this is just for you, buddy. And then underneath, I linked him to Indeed.com/America, which is where you can find jobs. Absolutely brilliant. I'll probably be blocked by the end of the night. Then we had Cole and Heyman. They had their sit-down interview. Heyman not shaved, just great attention to detail there.
No one is better at fucking presenting and building up to a match than Paulie fucking Dangerously. Nobody. Like, if I were to get into wrestling this late in my life, I wouldn't want to be a wrestler. I want to be a manager, and I want to be a heel manager, and I want to be fucking Paul Heyman. Because, throw this out there, sorry, fucking old school wrestling fanboys, Paul Heyman is the greatest manager in wrestling history. I love Bobby Heenan. Paul Heyman is better.
I could see that. And I watched that ECW, not Exposed, it was ECW Untold.
I haven't finished it, but I've started it, and it's so good.
Dude, that wasn't, like, I watched it last night, because I had my night off, and I just sat there, and it was just like 50 minutes just flew by. And at the end, for a guy who bashes hardcore wrestling, for a guy who bashes deathmatch wrestling, I was like, you know what? I'm going to put on an ECW show.
You need to, man. That's what ECW is known for. And I was trying to tell you this the other night. That people are like, oh, ECW, fucking hardcore matches, death matches. There was so much more going on in ECW. Your boy Chris Benoit started off in ECW. All these other great, and they had great matches. Like, yeah, fucking Sabu was a fucking insane man, but him and Taz had some fucking phenomenal matches. There's a lot of great stuff in ECW. And honestly, most of the death matches you can kind of skip over. If you see the name New Jack, just skip it over. Speaking of hardcore matches, I wanted to throw this out there. I'm debating on doing a video on it. I think you saw what I posted. We had a sale over the weekend at work, and I found a DVD for 50 cents that was Hardcore Homecoming, which was a ECW. They couldn't call it ECW, but it was a show that fucking Joey Styles put together in 2005 with all the old hardcore ECW alumni in the bingo hall in South Philadelphia for one night only. And it's this shitty little, like, bad quality DVD, and it was so much fun. Dude, I forgot how good Jerry Lynn really was. He was a completely underrated hand in the ring.
Was that Jerry Lynn versus Just Incredible?
Yes.
Yep, I have that DVD myself.
Dude, it's so good. I loved it. I fucking loved it.
I picked mine up for $1.99 in CX about a year or two ago, which is like it's this way you go to, you give a DVD and then they give you points, which you can then use to purchase. Yeah, I think I really like CX. Anyway, back to the fucking point. Yes. Paul Heyman, he said they screwed up. They took Goldberg lightly. He's literally crying, saying, look, there's no excuses. Heyman says Lesnar now has something to prove, and that scares him. And he also says Brock Lesnar will be in the Royal Rumble match, and he will win. Really great promo. They're obviously trying to sell 60 to 70,000 tickets for Royal Rumble. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure that out. Announce Brock. Announce Goldberg.
Who's your favorite to... Just real quick, we won't stay long on it. Who's your favorite to win the Royal Rumble right now?
It's so fucking difficult. You don't know what's going to happen. Like, you legit don't know what's going to happen. You know, Brock and Goldberg will not win.
No, absolutely
I'll
not.
Put money on Brock and Goldberg. The talks have been Cena or Jericho. I don't believe in. I mean, I still think you're going to get Cena versus AJ. Finn Balor returning could win, and then you could get
Balor. My money is on Sami Zayn or Finn Balor.
Or Cesaro. or Cesaro. Cesaro will be my dark horse pick. Cesaro will be my dark horse pick.
Well, we'll do this. I just wanted to touch real quick. We'll do that video later on in life.
Yeah, way were they run. Then Raw Tag Team titles, you have New Day defending against the Club. Big E needs to stop doing that dive. Please, Big E, stop.
He's going to hurt somebody or himself. More so himself. It looks great, but dude, it genuinely scares me.
Imagine if he just did that at like the big 4 pay-per-views, how much that would mean instead of doing it on Raws. Like, oh, God. Woods got the win by rolling up using the tights. And I writ down, you're going to hate that because faces are cheating. But it's telling the story of they'll do anything and just anything and everything just to beat that record. They're just so close. They just have to do it. I don't like that story. I don't like this story. I like the Club too much. The Club should have already beat them for the fucking titles. If I'm the Club, if I'm Anderson and Gallows, I am just waiting out the days until I can fucking leave that contract to go back to Japan. The only thing that could help them nowadays, to me, in my day, was be like bring in Braun Strowman. I think he would be a great fit for them. And the reason I brought up that podcast earlier is on the Talking Shop episode. It was Jericho, Gallows, Anderson, and then they're rotating fourth for that episode was Braun Strowman. And dude can talk, and dude is really funny and really intense. I think he would fit in. He would give the Club more legitimacy and being scary and people to beat people up. Does that make sense? I feel that they've already got Gallows and the big man, though. Like, that's my concern, because you had the 3 where
bring in somebody bigger.
But then you're going to bring someone bigger after Strowman? Like, is it just going to be the big boys club?
Just bring in Finn Balor. And have Finn Balor bring back the Balor Club, and it's the Balor Club finally.
I guess
I know it's like people freaked out. It's just a T-shirt. People calm down. The Balor Club is just a T-shirt. But if they did make it into the Balor Club, I would be totally down with that.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, fuck's sake. That was what I was going to say. My prediction for how this is going to end, okay? So you're going to have Cesaro and Sheamus be the challenger when it's 1 day away from breaking the record. Sheamus and Cesaro will win. Sheamus will turn babyface with Cesaro. New Day post-match attacks Sheamus and Cesaro. Turn heel. Just to turn heel. That's what I think they'll do.
I think you're probably right.
They've been our main event. Yeah, the Raw Women's title on the line in a Falls Count Anywhere. Charlotte versus Sasha. This is our match 36 of the year between these two. So this is what Vince is doing right now. He's on a calendar or in a board in his office. Okay, he has every gimmick stipulation ever made in WWE. And right now, he's currently in the process of going through every single one of them with Charlotte Sasha Banks. So it's pay-per-view main event, tick. TV main event, tick. Hell in a Cell, tick. Falls Count Anywhere, tick. They will do an Elimination Chamber match with only 2 in, just because they can be the first. Okay, they can't do anything. It's just ridiculous. But this match was good. Like I'm taking the piss, but this match was good. I enjoyed the natural selection on the floor. That was nice. There was he hit him with a kendo stick. Hit her with a kendo stick
directly in the lady bits.
Directing the lady bits, and then Cole screams, "Boss is in business. Boss is in." I'm like, dude, shut up. Go with Byron and find another job. And there was lots of funny tweets about that, but we're going to get to that in a second. Charlotte with a moonsault off the announce table to the floor. I remember the Raw announce table's quite high. That was a pretty awesome spot. And then Banks got the win with a bank statement on like the pole, the handrail that people use when you walk down the stair of flights at W events. Creative finish, new champion. Again, they're just rotating the belt. Yeah. And this means Charlotte's getting a rematch.
Yeah, here's my issue. Here's my fucking issue. Yeah, the match was fun and the match was good. No, honestly, it was good. I don't care. I have seen the story 6 times now. 6 times. I can count. I have math. 6 times. I just don't fucking care who has this belt anymore. I don't.
No.
It's just swapping hands. Fucking Sasha will win on a Raw. Charlotte will win on a pay-per-view. Sasha will win on a Raw. Charlotte will win on a pay-per-view. I don't care. They're going to have to do something to make me give a shit now because I just don't give a shit.
At Roadblock, end of the line, it's going to be Sasha versus Charlotte, and that will be the last match ever. A quote-unquote.
Better. And so help me God if that main events it. Like, I was more okay with this main eventing tonight, even though I still think anything doing the Universal title should be number 1. But if that main event's a fucking another pay-per-view, I'm going to be so upset. I'm going to get called like a sexist pig and all that jazz. No, that's not it. But it's called the Universal. It's not the Universal Women's title. It's the Universal Heavyweight title. that should indicate that this is the most important thing in your company. And if you don't put it on last, you're saying these other matches are more important than this.
They just do it to get people talking about it. But more importantly, what we should be talking about is the name and shame game, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's rock and roll.
So we have 4 tweets. I only had 4 because I
Okay.
didn't want to embarrass too many people. So we have here. Okay, so we have at Paulie Bruz. This is good, really good TV. Hashtag WWE, hashtag love it, hashtag raw. All things tuber. Is it me or is everything on? He doesn't put on. Is it me or is everything in this hashtag raw really good? Grid at Grid Talk WWE. Wow, I love this hashtag raw.
Ugh.
And then here we go. At BLY Cry. Kendo stick shots. This is awesome. Hashtag raw. Hashtag falls count anywhere. Hashtag love it. Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I hate people sometimes.
4 individuals who have never touched a vagina in their life.
It's fucking
Unbelievable.
stupid. Jesus Christ. You want to get to some live comments?
Yeah, we'll get some live comments and we'll wrap this bad boy up because it's very late.
Bum.
Paul Heyman, drop. What? We're not competing with anything tonight on the network, are we? Oh, we have loads. Thank you very
There's
much.
a bunch.
Antium Bishop 07 says, Bishop here, give us ladies 3 stages of hell or fuck off. Seriously. Danny Bolton says, win for me. Heyman promo was brilliant. I enjoyed the Sheamus Cesaro segment and the main event was also good. That indicates a strong tie, buddy. That singing made me laugh. Ronald Booth. Thank you. Silent Gengar says LK for W Creative. I charge
Why are
too
you
much.
getting all the fucking credit? It should be the Sammy LK creative WWE team.
Dude, I would bring you on as a you could be my assistant and then I'll kill the person next to me and you can jump on.
There you go.
Andy Papp says Fort Raw was great, LOL. Randy Morgan says Roman is a heel, interrupting weddings and promos on a consistent basis. He's booked as a cunt. He is.
But they're not booking him as a cunt. They're trying to book him as a Billy badass that doesn't care, and it's just not coming across. He needs to be booked as a heel. Think about the wedding and stuff. Like the wedding promo and crashing. All he's done is to other heels. So, and I get what you're thinking, and I totally agree with you. But it's the principle that's not working right now. He needs to be a full-on heel.
LK on Crave would be great. Thank you very much, Eddie Paps. The Barroom Brawl was great.
Yeah,
he said LOL. I actually thought it was good. Danny Bolton 23. The Rumble was looking like might actually be a good this time round. Yeah, I think they'll put a lot of effort in this year. I think it will be one of the best Rumbles we've had in a while. Randy Morgan says Gallows and Anderson suck balls. W is wasting money keeping them around at this point. Ooh. Randy Morgan, shots fired there. Silent Gengar says better Raw than most since the brand split. Still not great enough. Yeah. That's why we gave it a tie. Usually we give this show a loss.
Yeah,
we gave it a tie, which is yeah. Sassy J says LK you never disappoint. Thank you. Should have stayed in Japan where their talent was appreciated and utilized correctly. 110%. I posted a picture on my Facebook earlier on with them in these fucking Christmas jumpers, and I felt my heart sunk when I saw it. I was like, that's not the club, you fucking cunts. Randy Monk says, if WWE brings in the dumb fucks, I'm out. Anyone that likes them are just stupid marks. They fucking suck.
Who the
Randy
fuck
Morgan.
Does that mean the Young Bucks?
Dumb fuck, aka the young fucks.
Okay, he means
Yeah,
Young Bucks.
dude.
I appreciate their talent. I know they're really, really popular, but I am not by any means a Young Bucks fan. And nor are they ever going to make it to the WWE. And here's why. Their style is 180 degrees different from what WWE does, and they will never. And I respect them for this. They aren't going to compromise their style of wrestling to fit another person's ideals. And I can respect that, even though I think they're just spot monkeys, which has its place in wrestling, despite what people want to say. But I'm not a Young Bucks fan. But don't ever expect to see them in a WWE ring.
No, I don't expect that either. They're the type of people you should book as the match card opener. That's if I was running a company, they would be my match card opener. It'll be them versus the fucking deleted Hardys. I love 63 says, do you think they should have had Owens versus Reigns as the main event? Yes, we both fucking agree with that. Non-title matches shouldn't happen. I agree. That's what we liked about WCW is that all there were titles. I Love 63. Do you think Sasha should have got the belt? I don't care. Like, to the point where it's like I'm just expecting a title change. I'm just expecting like their next match at Roadblock, Charlotte will win. Danny Bolton says, I agree, if the champion's in a match, the title should always be defended. Yeah, it's always been that way until Vince got his scummy old hands involved, isn't it? Silent Gengar says, agreed, makes no logical sense that the champion would have a match where they don't defend their title. Agreed. And the commentary were bigging up Roman Reigns, like saying that Roman Reigns is a fighting champion. I cannot remember the last time Reigns defended that belt.
I'm sure it had to have been, but fuck if I can remember.
Randy Morgan. Charlotte will beat her dad's record for title reigns. At least I hope that's the long-term booking plan for Charlotte. At this
at this rate, she's going to beat her dad's reign, but it's going to be in like 9 months instead of like the 30 fucking 5 years he had. Jesus fucking Christ.
And Andy Papp says, should Heyman manage the Revival? That's a good shout. I feel they're good promos.
Everybody. Let's be honest here. And the fact that Heyman isn't in control of creative is a fucking sin. And yeah, I think he would be a great fit for the Revival. But I think the Revival are good enough on their own that they don't need a Heyman. He would just be icing on top of them. Kind of like, even though I hate Punk, Punk didn't need Heyman. Punk was good enough on his own. Brock Lesnar has to have Heyman, or else he's garbage. Honestly, you know who fucking needs Heyman more than anybody else right now? A heel Roman Reigns.
Oh, no, yeah. Say, I don't want to talk to you fuckers. Who do you think you are? Yeah. I Love 63 says, how many times did the New Day beat the club? Though he's burying the club for no reason. Yeah, he's sad.
Too fucking many. Too fucking many. And, like, mind you, they cheated to win this time. And I think the club has 1 or 2 victories over him. But god fucking damn it. You should just be waiting to go back to fucking Japan. Just go back and restart and take over the club. Or the Bullet Club, excuse me.
Silent Gengar says, don't care for Charlotte. Find her dull or annoying, whether it be a match or a promo. Oh, got a lot of
I don't necessarily agree, but
Charlotte.
I can see where people say that. I like her. I think she's super talented. But other people I just can't get into her. I can understand.
Me too. I'd love to see Heyman have more clients. Yes, wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we fucking all? Yeah. Andy Papp says a new Dangerous Alliance. That'd be great. Danny Bolt says, was thinking the Revival could do with a manager when they move to the main roster. You see, you're implying here, Mr. Danny Bolton, who's age 23, I'm guessing, the Revival aren't good promos when they're actually not that bad of a promo.
No. Their promos are sweet, short, and to the point. They beat people up. Yeah. And that's all they need to do. They don't need to get any more complicated with their promos than that. They're not the best promos in the world by any fucking stretch of the imagination, but they work for their characters, which is why they're so fucking good.
Here's a great point from Silent Gengar. Nakamura on the main roster would need Paul Heyman. Oh my god, imagine that. Imagine that.
Great. That would be great. Honestly, he's done so good. He's only cut a couple. I'm sorry, I don't mean. He's cut a couple promos in NXT, and yeah, his English isn't great, but he's so charismatic. You get his point. He only has to go out there and cut 1 or 2, 3-word, 2-sentence promos, and he's gonna get over. Like Paul Heyman would be great with Nakamura. Don't get me wrong, but he's one of those people that can get over sheerly by the charisma that bleeds out of every fucking orifice in that guy's body.
But imagine this. Imagine him standing there doing all his charismatic mannerisms and then Heyman talking. Like, that would be magic. Absolute magic.
Yeah. But would you turn him heel or keep him face? He'd have to be face. He's too fucking popular.
Yeah, but when Punk was face, Heyman was still pretty good. So I think Heyman's that type of guy that, you could cheer. Like, Lesnar was a face and he got people to cheer. Danny Bolter says, how many people from NXT roster would you have in the Rumble and who would they be?
2.
So, go on.
Nakamura.
Go on.
And then some dark horse. Somebody no one would expect, like a Ty Dillinger, a Cien Almas, maybe even a Bobby Roode.
I mean, Bobby Roode. Get that Bobby Roode up there. I personally want to see Bobby Roode versus Chris Jericho at Mania. Like, Jericho always has that match with the guy who will be next. They tried to do it with Fandango at 29. They did it with AJ last year. They can do it with Roode this year. Next year.
Here's what I think NXT should do. And they did it that first year with the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, is they should have a tournament in NXT, and if you win, you get to be in a match at Mania. Or you get to be in the Rumble. So they can still stay on the NXT roster. You don't have to move them up. So Bobby Roode could win a tournament, still be on the NXT roster, and then have a big... Imagine that glorious entrance at WrestleMania.
What about if they did this? If they did a tournament where at the final of TakeOver, the winners of this tournament get to enter the Royal Rumble. I wish they did that.
That's what I was saying. Well, yeah, the Royal Rumble. That would be great, too. Either or.
Because they're doing a TakeOver. Yeah, they're doing TakeOver before Rumble in San Antonio, so they could do that. It's a great way of promoting the Royal Rumble as well. Danny Bolton says Dillinger at number 10 would be quality. Oh, imagine that.
That would be fucking great. Dude, Toronto was lit for that motherfucker, and they should have been. And I'm glad that Kevin Owens acknowledged it, but Ty Dillinger might be one of those underappreciated wrestlers in the world right now.
I agree. Rumor has it there's going to be a total non-stop deletion for TNA. Yes, I think that's next, not this Thursday, next Friday, which I'm extremely excited for. Imagine this, Sammy. 2 whole hours of nothing but the Hardy compound. 2 whole hours.
God.
That's going to be fucking amazing. Dude, that's going to be brilliant. I'm pumped. I'm excited. I'm going to put that on record and play it to my fucking children when I have them. Heavy J says, if the revival comes up, they'll be treated as smaller versions of the club. Oh, just imagine that. Oh my God, almighty.
I think he meant it in a negative connotation here. And I
that's what I mean.
They shouldn't. They are... Sorry, people that are huge Young Bucks fans and this, that, and another. The Revival is the greatest tag team in the world right now, regardless of promotion. They are the best. And them to just get fucking squashed like that is a crying fucking shame. Here's when I stop watching pro wrestling. And I would genuinely stop watching WWE. I will completely quit on their product. They bring up the Revival. And I'm close there as is. Keep that in mind with this one idea, because they did it to the Vaudevillains. They bring up the Revival, and they get crushed by the Hype Bros. I stop watching WWE.
Dude, I was contemplating the next time I see the Hype Bros, I stop watching WWE.
They only crushed the Vaudevillains, who were infinitely more talented than them. So,
what about Alpha though? Recently, like minus their, they won that gauntlet or whatever the fuck excuse for
weird shit.
What the fuck have they done with Alpha? Like they brought them up just for the sake of having brought up for the draft. There was no long-term plan. There wasn't even a short-term plan. It was that we're going to move them up. Waste of time, poor bastards. And then Heavy J in the last comment of the night says, I hope Cesaro goes to New Japan so we get Cesaro versus Shibata at Wrestle Kingdom. Oh my God, that would be like that would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. I want to thank everyone who watched us live for the live comments. I'm glad we had lots tonight. Thank you, Sammy, for joining us.
So I got a small announcement I needed to make. I already kind of told you, so it's cool. So clearly I haven't been on here a lot, ladies and gentlemen, so I do apologize. Real life and work got in the way. I do have to travel for work now, so I'm going to be all over the place, and I don't have a means of doing these shows wherever I end up in a hotel room. So I have to take a small sabbatical from the show. I can show up when I can. And I do apologize for that. If I do get some form where I can do these shows on the road, I will definitely pop back on. But as it is, I've got to ghost for a little while until I can get a couple things worked out with work. I know. It's depressing.
How to end on a low night. So you made me sit through 3 hours of Raw and you dropped this bombshell on me.
I kind of told you it was coming.
Yeah,
I'm still going to be around, just not as much.
Yeah, as long as you just pop in once every week or so I can get some kind of form of entertainment and make you smile for a little bit. So if you want to check us out, though, we got all our links in the description to our latest shows, to merchandise, which I've uploaded. And right now there's a 40% sale. Use the code CyberMun sale. And it's 40% off. And Sammy's got a fucking awesome shirt on there, which you should go check out.
Fucking sweet as shit. That's what every one of my family is getting for Christmas.
I've got my own Patreon self. I want to thank you to EC Cuff for pledging to the $5 per month gimmick. Thank you. You are the man, EC Cuff. You should join him too. Get exclusive content. Plus, you will support my English ass who's giving you content every single fucking hour of the day. I want to thank you for supporting this show. Hit that subscribe button if you want more. Hit that bell button next to it if you want to know instantly when we're going live. Tomorrow, we'll be doing will you be able to join us tomorrow or work?
I might be. Don't hold me to it. I'm gonna try.
Okay, so what we're going to do is, so SmackDown airs 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. my time, and then 2:05 Live is 3 a.m. to 3:45 a.m. At 3:45 after 2:05 Lives, we'll be coming on with a joint SmackDown Live and a 2:05 Live review. And then once that show has been done, once it's processed, I will split it up into separate videos, one a SmackDown Live review, one a 2:05 Live review. So if you want to join us live, that will be the time immediately after 2:05 Live. That being said, I want to thank you all for joining us here on this show. Sorry, Raw sucked for you guys. We can't help the show suck, but at least we entertained you. Thank you for the live comments. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for watching. From Sammy and myself, make sure you stay safe, stay well. Fuck the clowns. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck imbeciles. Fuck Roman Reigns. And fuck Vince McMahon. With those 5 images now in your head, stay safe, stay well. I'll be catching your asses down the line.